Hello everyone, this is Teacher Rodrigo and welcome to your English class. Today we are studying the following topic: formal and informal introductions. Formal and informal introductions, greetings and leave takings, okay? We are going to see examples of formal conversations, examples of informal conversations. We will learn the different vocabulary that people use when they are in a formal environment and the language or the vocabulary they use when they are in informal conversations. And also we will produce two conversations, one which is going to be formal and another that is going to be informal, okay? Bienvenidos a la clase de inglés para octavo grado. En esta ocasión estudiaremos el siguiente tema: introducciones formales e informales. Saludos y despedidas. Vamos a ver ejemplos de conversations que son formal y vamos a ver conversations que son informal, es decir, formales e informales. Vamos a ver el vocabulary que esta gente usa en formal conversations y también el vocabulary que se usa en informal conversations. Y al final, en la parte 1.4, production, en la parte 1.4 de producción, vamos a hacer two conversations. Una va a ser formal y otra va a ser informal, ¿ok? Eso es lo que vamos a hacer this class, okay? But first I want you to look at the pictures, okay? I want you to look at two pictures. Please look at these pictures. Which one do you think is a formal conversation? Which one of these pictures do you think is a formal conversation? Yes, that is a formal conversation, okay? Esa es una conversación formal, correct? That is a formal conversation. ¿Por qué? Why? You can see the people, they are well dressed, they are shaking hands, yes, they look very serious, okay? Están bien vestidos, como si fuera una especie de in a workplace, okay, un lugar de trabajo. They shake hands, están saludándose y a la misma vez se ven muy serios, ¿no? But the other picture, whereas the other picture is an informal conversation. La otra picture tenemos una conversación informal. ¿Y por qué diríamos que es una informal conversation? Mira cómo están vestidas. Look at the dresses. Yes, maybe they are talking to each other in the neighborhood. Se ven en la calle y se están platicando. Yes, maybe they are friends that have not seen each other in a long time. Tal vez son amigas que no se han visto en mucho tiempo. So they hug, they kiss, and whatever. Yes, it's a really informal situation. So it's informal conversation. Okay. La diferencia entre formal and informal is the vocabulary, okay? The difference between formal and informal is the vocabulary. The vocabulary is different in each situation. Y eso lo vamos a comprobar when we check the guideline for this week. So let's go to the guide. Vamos a ver la guía, okay? Welcome to the English guide for 8th grade, okay? We are studying the topic formal and informal introductions, okay? Introduction is in Spanish presentaciones, yes? Presentaciones, when you first met someone, you introduce yourself, okay? Cuando primera vez que conoces a alguien, te presentas or introduce yourself. So today we are going to learn how to introduce ourselves in formal and informal way, okay? Vamos a ver cómo nos introducimos o nos presentamos en forma formal and informal. Vamos a ver examples de la difference de formal and informal introductions. Y por supuesto vamos a tener que hacer two conversations in English. Una que sea formal y una que sea informal. Repito, usted va a hacer two conversations in English al final. Una va a ser formal and the other is going to be informal. Aquí tenemos las pictures de introductions, presentaciones in English, okay? So, which one do you think is formal? Ya dijimos que esta es la formal conversation, okay? Ahora, please tell me, do you remember how to introduce yourself? ¿Te acuerdas cómo te introduces a ti mismo? ¿Cómo te presentas in English? Hello, my name is... Hi, I am... Yes, hello, my name is Pablo Cortez, for example, okay? So that's a way to introduce yourself. Remember this expression, nice to meet you, gusto en conocerte, yes? Those are expressions that we use to introduce each other. Son expresiones que usamos para introducirnos o para presentarnos in English, of course. So in the activation part, díganme, ¿cuál es la formal? Ya dijimos que es this one, la formal, okay? Ahora, let's go to the presentation part. En la presentation part vamos a ver vocabulary, ¿ok? Vamos a ver vocabulary que te ayudará to introduce yourself, a presentar a ti mismo, and introducing others, y presentar a otras personas, and responding to an introduction, y responder a alguien que se presenta. Porque imagina qué feo sería que alguien te dice, hey, my name is fulano, what's your name? Y usted se queda, that would be ugly, yes? Sería feo. Entonces tenemos que saber cómo responder. We have to know how to answer, cómo responder in English, of course, okay? So, let's go to review the vocabulary. Vamos a revisar el vocabulario, okay? First, me gustaría que vieran esto. Si ustedes se fijan aquí en este chart, en this part, hay una arrow, es una flecha, yes, there's an arrow, ¿ok? Y la flecha va desde formal hasta informal, ¿ok? Lo que está más arriba es más formal y lo que está más abajo es más informal. ¿Y cómo sé que es más formal o más informal? Fíjate en las pictures. Fíjate en las pictures, ¿ok? ¿Cómo ves a las personas de estas pictures? Ahora mira esta otra. ¿Cómo ves a las personas de estas pictures? Hasta de manos están saludando. That is very formal. Yes, handshaking is very formal. Now, take a look at these people. Mira esta gente. ¿Cómo está? ¿Dirías que ellos están teniendo una formal conversation? No. Porque mira cómo están levantando las manos. Justo como hacemos cuando tenemos una informal conversation. ¿Ok? So, a formal conversation is a serious, elegant, sophisticated vocabulary conversation, whereas an informal conversation is an easygoing environment, loose language, yes, a chat with friends, okay? A formal conversation es una conversación muy formal, muy seria, con personas bastante sofisticadas en su vocabulario, por decirlo de alguna manera, porque se utiliza un vocabulario bien fino para eso, ¿no? Yes. And an informal conversation es como la plática que tenemos con los friends, con los amigos, ¿ves? Un chat con los friends, que el vocabulario lo cortamos las palabras, yes. We lose vocabulary. Y pues hasta nuestra forma de expresarnos es más así, más smooth, más suave, ¿ok? So, let's take a look at the different expressions, ¿ok? Vamos a ver las expresiones para introduce yourself, presentarte a ti mismo. Listen and repeat, please. How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? ¿Qué tal? Oh? How do you do? My name is Mrs. Smith. How do you do? My name is Mrs. Smith. Pay attention. Mrs. Smith. Señora, yes? Hey, no soy fulano yet, no. Es Mrs. Soy la señora. How do you do? My name is Mrs. Smith. Yes? It's a very formal conversation. How do you do? My name is Mrs. Smith. Okay? Mrs. Smith, may I introduce my boss, Mr. Jones? Mrs. Smith, may I introduce my boss, Mr. Jones? Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Smith. ¿Ok? Entonces, aquí tenemos a el jefe. Yes? Mr. Jones. Y aquí tenemos a Mrs. Smith. La señora Smith. ¿Ok? Entonces, pregunta, how do you do? My name is Mrs. Smith. ¿Cómo están? Mi nombre es la señora Smith. Mrs. Smith, ¿le puedo presentar a mi jefe, el señor Jones? Y aquí dice, mucho gusto en conocerlos. Perdón, mucho gusto en conocerla, señora Smith, dice el jefe Jones, ¿ok? Dice, fíjense, el vocabulary is very sophisticated, ¿ok? It's very respectful, ¿ok? Because it is a formal conversation, ¿ok? Entonces, te presentas, my name is, presentas a otros, may I introduce, ¿ok? Y cuando ya te presentan con alguien, mucho gusto, pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Okay, once again. My name is... Te presentas, yes. May I introduce... Puedo presentarte a... Yes. Pleased to meet you. Gusto en conocerte. Okay, listen and repeat. How do you do? My name is Mrs. Smith. How do you do? My name is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith, may I introduce my boss, Mr. Jones? Mrs. Smith, may I introduce my boss, Mr. Jones? Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Smith. Pleased to meet you, Mrs. Smith. Así que cuando usted vaya a solicitar la visa, va a decir, how do you do? My name is Mr. Lopez. Okay? Pleased to meet you. Diga, okay? My name is Mr. Lopez. How do you do? Pleased to meet you. Okay? So it's a very formal conversation when you're going to ask for the visa, for example, uno va a pedir la visa. Okay? Now let's take a look at another sort of formal conversation, okay? Una conversation que es más o menos formal, okay? Hello, Janice Smith. I am the owner of this store, okay? Hello, Janice Smith. I am the owner of this store, okay? Janice, I'd like you to meet Steve Jones, our salesman. Steve, this is Janice Smith. Pleased to meet you, Janice. Ok, attention, de nuevo, attention, pay close attention. Lo que estábamos diciendo antes, ok, pay close attention a lo que estábamos diciendo antes. Introducing yourself, te presentas. Hello, Janice Smith. I am, yo soy, I am the owner of the store, yes? Te presentas, introduce yourself. Ahora presentas a otros, introduce others. I'd like you to meet Steve Jones. I'd like you to meet, quisiera que conocieras Steve Jones, ¿ok? Ahora, responder cuando alguien se presenta. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you, ¿ok? Okay, once again, let's practice. Hello, Janice Smith. I'm the owner of this store. I'm. Hello, Janice Smith. I am the owner of this store. Janice, I'd like you to meet Steve Jones. Quisiera que conocieras a Steve Jones. I'd like you to meet Steve Jones, our salesman. Steve, this is Janice Smith. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Okay, attention here. Otra manera de presentar a otra persona es así, mira. Steve, this is Janice. Okay, hey, fulano, ella es fulana. Steve, this is Janice Smith. Okay, another example. Imagínese, for example, que es el primer día en que va a conocer a su suegra. Y le dice, hello, I am Rodrigo. Okay. Hello, I am Rodrigo. Okay. For example, sí, very respectful. Okay. Very respectful. Y le va a presentar usted a su hermano o hermana, por ejemplo. I'd like you to meet my brother. Okay. I'd like you to meet my brother. Le presento a mi hermano. I'd like you to meet my brother. This is Janice Smith. Or this is Raúl, for example. Okay. Este se llama, o él se llama, o ella se llama. This is Mayra. This is Juan. This is Elmer. Yes? Now, pleased to meet you. Gusto en conocerte. Pleased to meet you. Gusto en conocerte. Now, here we have an informal conversation. Tenemos una conversación informal aquí. Okay, we have an informal conversation. Y en esta informal conversation, el vocabulary es más así, más libre, es with friends, okay? Hasta las palabras nos comemos. Yes, we lose words over here, okay? Hey, Janice Smith, the owner. Janice, meet Steve, okay? Hi, Janice, how are you? Okay, this is very informal. This is very informal, okay? El vocabulary that is very informal es el que más se usa en the United States. Así que, si se quiere aprender este, is the best part, okay? Because this is the most used vocabulary in the USA, okay? So, Janice Smith, the owner. Aquí estamos presentándonos. Janice Smith, the owner. Como quien dice, Rodrigo López, el profe de inglés, okay? Janice Smith, the owner. Si se fijan, no decimos, my name is Janice Smith, I am the owner. No, cortamos palabras because it is an informal conversation, okay? Now, introducing others, presentando a otro. Janice, meet Steve, my husband. Oye, Janice, conoce a mi esposo, Steve. Steve, this is my friend, Janice. Hey, Steve, mira, ella es mi amiga Janice, okay? This is a very informal conversation, okay? Imagínense que se está presentando a un amigo suyo, una amiga suya en English. For example, le dice, hey, Peter, meet Sarah, my friend, okay? Sarah, this is my friend Peter, okay? Así que los presenta, yes? Listen and repeat. Janice, Meet Steve. Oiga fulanita, conozca fulanito. Steve, this is my friend. Pedrito, esta es mi amiga. Yes. Hi, Janice, how are you? Hi, Janice, how are you? Okay. Así que imagínense que usted le presentan a una muchacha y le dicen, Rodrigo, meet Sarah. Ok, yo que te contesto. Hello, Sarah, how are you? Ok. Así no nos quedamos callados. Practice this vocabulary, please. Practíquelo. Remember, el que está más arriba es el formal y el que está más abajo es el informal. ¿Ok? En esta columna, cómo presentarse. Introducing yourself. En esta columna, introducing others. Presentar a otros. Y en esta columna, responding to an introduction. Cómo responder cuando alguien se presenta. Okay, so this is the vocabulary you should practice or put into practice when you write your conversation. Esto le va a servir para cuando hagas sus conversations, okay? Now, let's practice with more vocabulary. Read the following conversations and notice the formal and informal vocabulary, okay? Vamos a ver el vocabulary formal and informal, okay? Quiero que se fije en las letras que están en negrita. Yes, this is informal vocabulary, okay? Fíjese en las letras negritas. This is informal vocabulary, okay? Look at the bold letters. This is informal vocabulary. Listen and repeat. Hello, my name is Lexi. Hello, my name is Lexi. Hi, my name is Jack. Hi, my name is Jack. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm sorry, what was your name again? I'm sorry, what was your name again? Jack. Jack. Thank you, Jack. What do you like about Los Angeles so far? What do you like about Los Angeles so far? I like the beautiful beaches. How about you? I like the beautiful beaches. How about you? Okay? So the bold part is informal vocabulary. Okay? Lo negrito is informal vocabulary. Now, let's take a look at a formal conversation. Okay? Vamos a ver una conversación formal. And pay attention to the vocabulary because it's really different. Okay? Let's take a look at the vocabulary. Excuse me, sir. It's nice to meet you. My name is Jack Chong. Shakes hand significa dar la mano, un apretón de manos. Handshake es un apretón de manos. So, when you hear the expression shake hands, ya saben que es saludarse de mano, un apretón de mano, okay? Excuse me, sir. It's nice to meet you. My name is Jack Chang. Hello, Jack. My name is Lexi Pinkelman. It's a pleasure to meet you. What do you do for a living, Mrs. Pinkelman? What do you do for a living, Mrs. Pinkelman? I am a high school English teacher. What's your occupation? I am a high school English teacher. What's your occupation? I am a high school math teacher. I am a high school math teacher. That is great. That is great. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. Remember, ¿qué es shakes hands? Yes, apretón de manos. Shakes hand. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking with you. It was a pleasure talking with you too. Have a nice day. It was a pleasure talking with you too. Have a nice day. Okay? So do you see the difference? ¿Viste la diferencia? Do you see the difference? This one is informal conversation. The vocabulary is for friends, okay? It's a chat with friends. Whereas this conversation is formal. It has formal vocabulary. The expressions are very respectful, very sophisticated, yes? That is why we can see the difference between formal and informal, okay? Now, we have seen two examples already. Ya vimos dos examples. Ahora le toca a usted. It's time to produce your own conversation. Va a hacer usted 2 conversations. Oiga bien. 2 conversations. Write 2 conversations. Usted va a escribir 2 conversations. One formal and one informal. Una formal y otra informal. Puede auxiliarse de estas ideas. Mire, la conversation 1, conversation A, you introduce yourself to your new English teacher. Usted se presenta con el English teacher. Y la conversation B, your best friend introduces you to a new friend at school. Un amigo tuyo te presenta a otro en la escuela. ¿Okay? Esta con el teacher va a ser formal y esta con el friend is going to be informal. Okay? The conversation with the teacher is going to be formal and the conversation with the friend is going to be informal. Okay? That's the idea. If you have any questions about how to respond the guide, you can send me a WhatsApp and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, so this is it. Don't forget to write 2 conversations in English. One of them is going to be informal and the other is going to be formal. In English, please remember to write the conversation in English. When you finish the guideline, you send the picture of the finished work through Google Classroom. Listen carefully, please. When you finish the guideline, you send the picture of the finished work through Google Classroom. Okay? Si tienes problemas, if you have problems to send the picture through Google Classroom, send me a WhatsApp and I'll be more than happy to help you, okay? Si tienes problemas para subir la tarea por Google Classroom, escríbame por favor y yo le ayudo, ¿ok? Hagámoslo. Se lo recomiendo que usemos Google Classroom. ¿Por qué insistimos tanto en eso? Dentro de poco van a ver que le van a estar pidiendo que la utilicen bastante, así que es mejor que se vayan acostumbrando desde ya. Okay? Si tiene problems to send the picture through Google Classroom, send me a WhatsApp and I help you, okay? Bye guys, see you next week.